live from the 313 and the 404, episode 136 of the Everybody Mad. It's a live podcast. It's Thursday. It's 8:08. It's on October 19th. It's also Biden has been president for over 1,000 days. 100,000. How you say that? 1,002? 1,002nd day of the Biden administration. Also, National Breast Cancer Awareness Month. We want to shout out and highlight that Awareness Month. My name is Seth Lover. Welcome to the show.
What's up? I'm Kenya Kabine. You could join in on the conversation by hitting that link that you see up under the screen. And if you're on Facebook, make sure you spread the word because we're live right now on Facebook. We're also live right now on YouTube, and we are live wherever you stream your favorite podcast. So we're available on all podcast platforms. It's been a minute, Sad man. What's been going on, dog? What's been happening?
A whole month, ain't it? It's been crazy. Because I think we all have had some life sort of situations happen that wasn't because we didn't really expect to be off for a month. But we've been gone for about a month. I think our last show was in the middle of September. Now it's middle of October, and we done missed all the news to show. But I was in the hospital for a few days, almost a week, with some food poison, stomach, gastro issues. I know that killed one of our shows, and then I had to get well, and then you made some additions to your life and things like that.
Yeah, I got these two new puppies, Huey and Riley. They are miniature schnauzers, and I have to be able to, I didn't realize that when you get two puppies, I think I mentioned this before when we did initially talk about the puppies, but there's this thing called littermate syndrome that you have to, when you have two puppies in a house, you're raising them together, you have to raise them separately. So I have to take them out separately, I have to feed them separately, and it becomes a lot. And it's actually, starting to
expensive as hell, ain't it?
Yeah, it's hell. Damn, I should have just got one dog. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Or some goldfish.
But it's working out because they're great dogs, and I'm truly enjoying them around the house. But it's been a lot. It's been a lot to the point
where work. Like kids, you got to do a lot for dogs. And then too, we've had that conversation too about pets in the house because with pets in the house, like it can't just be one person's pet. It's everybody. It's the household's pet because like everyone has to be affected by them or whatever. So shout out to y'all for y'all two brand new additions on what y'all got going on or whatever. But it's been good. It's been getting cold in Detroit.
Yeah, I know it's getting cold up there, but I love this time of the year. Fall is my favorite time of the year.
It's my worst. My allergies are like,
my allergies started acting up this year for the first time. This has never happened where like I started getting fall allergies. So got that taken care of, but now I'm taking
fall and spring for me.
Yeah, see, it was just spring for me, but now it's fall. So
getting old, bro.
Time of the year. You said what?
I said you're getting old.
No, I'm just getting
like all our body parts are starting to change, and like they starting to kind of like we need to squeak some oil in there and like get them back moving because they're not moving like they used to.
Man, who you telling? But it's homecoming week for Savannah State, so I want to send shouts out to everybody down at Savannah State University, Savannah, Georgia. So, and I was gonna be like, well, I need to go down on Thursday, but I knew I had to do the podcast, so I'm gonna leave first thing in the morning. So, shouts out.
Yourself.
Yeah, shouts out to Savannah State. It's homecoming week.
Yep, I missed mine last week for USC, but we lost the game. But we always win the homecoming tailgates and all that stuff like that because that's what we go for. We go for the camaraderie and the event and things like that. But why people are here because they come for that camaraderie, but also to learn about culture and the hot topics and recap and share their thoughts too because this is a live podcast that we do, and this is episode 136, so we got something real nice for everybody. Because I know the top thing we're going to talk about is Will and Jada, because we've been gone for quite a long time, so we haven't had a chance to even dive into that. So we're going to talk about that, because actually today, Will has responded for the first time. We got some video of Will and his response to all this stuff going on with Jada and her book and her bombshell revelations relating to their marriage. I guess it still is. I was trying to search for the word, but I guess they're still married. So that's on the show. Plus, we got to talk about Carlee Russell. She's been sentenced. They gave her something that substantial to me because she used a lot of resources with her lie. So we'll talk about that on the show as well.
Also, we're going to fill you in on what's going on with the Elijah McClain trial, and there's been some sentencing that's gone down as far as his tragedy. So we're going to fill you all in on what's going on with that. Plus, Tyler Perry doing good again. They he did that movie called Mr. Good Deeds, but Tyler Perry always giving back, always doing something good. We have a really cool story about how he gave back to an elderly woman over the age of 90 in South Carolina. So hold tight. Hold tight for that.
Yeah, nice lady. He always does those. Plus, Alicia Keys running her mouth. She's in hot water because people think she's allegedly what?
Cause she wasn't really okay. I got an opinion about that, but just go ahead. Go ahead.
I mean, she wasn't running her mouth like with her mouth saying it, but like people. Well, we'll get into what happened with her because she's under fire, and it's relative to this war that's going on with Israel and Hamas. So she's in trouble for that. But also, who might be in trouble is Lil Bow Wow. That's the topic of our Everybody Mad debate. He said something that I kind of agree with, and I think I've been saying it for about 10, 15 years. But he said today's artists are subpar. We're going to talk about that on today's one of Everybody Mad debate. We're talking today.
Yep, because we have another debate that's coming up on tonight's show about a guy that made a bold move after he decided to walk out on a date after this girl just ordered up a whole bunch of stuff and turned out that the girl was an influencer here in Atlanta. And everybody's talking about that. So we're going to debate, was he right? Was she right? You know, who was right or wrong in the situation? So hold tight to that. But also don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell for more sizzling updates. And always follow us on Instagram. We're building up those Instagram numbers. We're building up our numbers all on social media. So make sure that you follow us, hit that button, and subscribe. So without further ado, we're going to go ahead and start the show. Say, are you ready over there? Something going on. Hey, this is a live show. You know how we do. Hey, but you can always comment. You can jump in the conversation too. If you want to say something, let us know. You can always hit that button to talk to us and jump in live with us. Definitely want to hear from you tonight on the show. All right. So, Seb, we got to go ahead and jump everything off. Talk about Carlee Russell, because everybody was mad at Carlee Russell. But the sentencing has finally gone down. She's been charged with false reporting to law enforcement and falsely reporting an incident after stating her own 48-hour disappearance. Now, a judge recently determined that she has to pay over $18,000 in fines, and she's been sentenced to serve up to a year in jail. A year in jail. Do you think it should have been more? I mean, I think a year is cool. I'm cool with just a year because the year is like just is to say, yo, you were wrong. You were lying. You shouldn't have done that. Also, the fine should have been more money. The fine should have been more money, in my opinion. But I think she needs to do at least a year.
Yeah, I thought that was kind of a lot because I don't think she got 18,000. Yeah, it was a lie, but I don't think she has the money to pay or whatever. So I think it puts her in a sort of situation. I don't know how they came up with the money. I guess they got their sort of estimates from the charges of people who were involved in the investigation, whatever. But
searching for.
Yep. So that's a good amount of money, and up to a year. Now they haven't decided on the jail time yet, but a year is a long time to me for something where you just utilize resources really inappropriately or whatever. You didn't kill anybody. You didn't put anybody necessarily in danger from like a DUI or having a weapon or something like that. Like you just wanted some attention, and you about it the wrong way. So that, I don't know. I think adding on to like I think it's sufficient with what she is to me.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I think a year is good. But you know what? No one's talking about her mom. I think her mom needs jail time too with her mean ass. I think we got video of her mom. Do we have that video set?
Her mom is kind of, and like it's kind of how she did it because she was this actually just right after the sentencing, and she was approached as they were exiting. But I mean, Mama Bear is gonna do what Mama Bear is gonna do, and what you ain't gonna do, you ain't gonna just run up on in our space and try and get up in all this right here.
And tell a lie to the public. Why? Why did you lie, Carlee? Carlee Russell, why did you lie? Jonathan Lee Riches investigates. Why did you lie, Carlee Russell? Why did you lie to the public? Why did you blame a white man? Why did you blame a white man? Why did you blame a white? Don't touch my phone, lady. Lady, don't touch my phone. Don't touch my phone. Why did you, Miss Russell? Why did you grab my phone? Why did you grab my phone, Miss Russell? Why did you lie to national television? Why did you lie to national television, Miss Russell? Why? Why did you go on national television and lie? Why did your daughter blame a white man? Why did your daughter blame a white man for a fake kidnapping? Why? Why? Why'd she plead not guilty today? Why, Miss Russell? Why?
Dude, you can't just run in front of our cameras like that. Act
Listen,
like normal person.
listen.
No, you don't run the place.
Guess
yet.
what? I do today. I do today. I do today. You all don't even.
He's not even a real reporter, though. He's just an influencer, right?
Right, like that's what I'm saying. Like you got all these sort of like non sort of media personalities or whatever trying to kind of get in there. Like I think he has some sort of podcast or some sort of show or whatever, but not a legitimate sort of media sort of outlet or whatever. Like just like to me, like somebody just trying to get clicks. Like somebody who's legitimate just wants to report the news. They get paid to report the news on, and that's it. He gets paid to do clicks.
Well, that was kind of funny to see that video. That was kind of funny to see that video. But Said's favorite person, Candace Owens, actually said that she would pay Carlee Russell's $18,000 fines. And we have video of that.
I'm trying to figure out how Candace became my favorite person.
Show we are begging. I will pay the $18,000 fine if you sit down with me and give me a one-on-one on where you were for the 48 hours. I mean that. Take it to the bank, Carlee Russell. Talk to me on this show about where the heck you were for 48 hours. America deserves to know. We would break the internet, Carlee Russell. Let's break the internet.
Do you think she's going to take it?
She could. She's desperate. If she's desperate enough, she might take it. But
yeah.
But then again,
make more or less for interviews, so you might as well.
Yeah.
Get that money you already disgraced.
Right, exactly. You might as well. So I mean,
I wouldn't take a deal and start your life anew.
Yeah, I wouldn't really be surprised if Carlee Russell did that. I'm sure her mom would probably force her to do that. So who knows?
You don't like her mama, do you?
I don't know. I don't like her mom because her mom got up on TV and lied. You know what I mean? And we watched and we covered that. And the father was looking like you could tell something was going on. You could tell something.
The interview was kind of weird and the way she was answering questions. Now I get it. As mama, you're gonna protect your child as much as like possible, whatever. But like to me, in my protection, I'm just not gonna be granting interviews. I ain't be going out here talking to everybody about the situation because that's gonna put me in a situation to say something that might be against my baby. You know what I'm saying? And like to me, that's their first mistake. Going on, stop going on that damn TV. Shut your mouth. Stop trying to be in it and just handle your business. And like that's why they got caught up in it. Yeah. Adrian had a comment. She would go on that show. I don't care if I don't like you, kid. Just give me my. Actually, do like Aretha Franklin say too. Give me my money first.
Right. Give me the money first. Yeah. Give me the money first. Because Candace is a slick chick.
Right.
Candace Owens, she's slick. She's
you want to scam the NAACP? We're in like Connecticut or something like that. Yeah. Like getting them to pay for her high school bull, and then she turns to flip the scripts and becomes a ultra right wing, right boot licking, kicking.
She's a trip. Leave your comments. We want to hear your thoughts on this whole situation with the Everybody Mad Live podcast. Well, a Colorado police officer has been convicted in connection to the August 2019 death of Elijah McClain. That's the 23-year-old who passed away while in police custody. According to CNN, this past Thursday, Randy Rodema was convicted of criminal neglect, homicide, and assault in connection to McClain's death. Now, it's important to note that this officer has actually remained a police officer with the Aurora, Colorado Police since McClain's passing. However, he's currently suspended. Meanwhile, former officer Jason Rosenblatt was acquitted of all charges related to McClain's passing. Now, the charges include reckless manslaughter and assault. This is all coming from CNN. It's a real unfortunate situation, said, and even USA Today, they were talking about how Rosenblatt was actually fired from the force back in 2020 because he reportedly replied to the photo he received via text that reportedly reenacted McClain's death by chokehold. So that's why he was fired in 2020. Yeah. So right now they're saying that Rodema and Rosenblatt are the first two of the 5 police officers and paramedics who will actually stand trial in connection to McClain's death. Do you think that justice was served in this situation right here?
Nah, No, because the man is dead, and like the boy's been able to, and I'm calling him boy. I'm talking about the police officer. He's been allowed to just continue to work in his job after he's put this awful sort of situation on this mother, on this family, and all the situation, and never taking any sort of accountability for what they're doing. So no, I don't appreciate that at all. I was actually trying to let her talk for a little while.
And that another officer, he left the courthouse, telling reporters she's not satisfied.
This is the divided states of America, and that's what happens.
McClain's mom clearly frustrated that Rodima faces less than a decade in prison, and that another officer was acquitted in the killing of her son.
Yeah, and that was the other thing too. Yeah, the first, because they're doing these officers like one by one, is not a joint trial or anything like that, even though the situation was together. So the first officer got off completely. He was acquitted for that. So life back to normal. This is the second officer getting his sort of sentence, which to me it was still light. Now they actually this past Tuesday, they just started the trial on the third officer. So we're interested to see how that's going to be. But no, that's not how justice is being served. I am glad that they have separated the officers out so that they can be kind of individually held accountable or whatever. But then, like, I almost wonder, is that part of the reason why they're still being allowed off? But like we know, rural Colorado has always had problems with police officers and black people there or whatever. So this is just not an isolated sort of situation, and it's so frustrating just to watch it.
It is, because a lot of times they might like, especially when it's a large group of officers that are charged with murder for one black man, they might just charge one and then let the other ones off, and it's not fair. You know, that's why it's frustrating for us when everyone should be held accountable. If you were there and you didn't do anything, you have to be held accountable, and that's why people get so upset with situations like this. Yeah.
Speaking of that, there's not to even belabor, but I'll be just want to mention the other situation in Kansas City. If you remember that Cameron Lamb, who got shot in Kansas City, he was in his car or whatever, and police had responded to that. The long story with that, he got shot and killed in that, but the police officer, similar to this situation, never really had to stay in jail. He was sentenced on a bench trial. Actually, he appealed as a police officer to the Republican Attorney General in Missouri. The Attorney General, which normally in most states, the Attorney General is always going to be on the side of the state. Well, this Attorney General said, no, I'm going to be on the side of the police. And he actually ordered them to appeal that guilty sort of sentence for that. The officer is Eric DeValcanair or something like that or whatever, that killed Cameron Lamb or whatever. So he's been in and out of jail because he's not had to do that or whatever. And then since he's appealing it, they gave him his bail. So even though he got guilty and put in jail, they snatched him back out, gave him bond. So now he doesn't have to be in jail while he's doing this particular appeal. Now, 3 judges have come back and said, you know what? No, he is guilty. So he's going to have to do that. So he's going another appeal, trying to get the Attorney General. But that's what I'm saying. It's like, all this extra, all this privilege, all these things that nobody else has to do. Because to me, if you're guilty and you found guilty, like, how do you get to apply to the highest person in law in your state, which that person normally is on the prosecuting side, but he decides to be on the defense side with you? That doesn't make no sense. So that's why people are always mad, because this Elijah McClain is not isolated. That's in Colorado, but we're seeing the same sort of situation a couple of states over in Missouri. Yep. And I'm sure if you can go a couple of states the other way, you're going to see the same thing. And that's why people are frustrated, because we tired of having the same old circular conversation and really nothing ever starts to happen.
Yeah. And this is why everybody's mad. We want to hear your thoughts. Always leave your comments. We appreciate you all checking us out too. Hey, so down in South Carolina, in Hilton Head, South Carolina, there's a woman by the name of Josephine Wright. She's 93 years old. She's refusing to leave her home. I don't know if you all heard about this story or not, but it's starting to gain national traction in the media. But apparently this home has been with her family since the Civil War. And this woman, she's a great grandmother. She's a grandmother. She's got like all these grandchildren. It's you know, a lot of people depend on her. She's the matriarch of the family. Anyway, we have some clips of this story right here, so you all can check it out, and then we'll talk after the break.
Family has ties to the Civil War generation, says developers are trying to force her to sell her land, starting with what she calls a frivolous lawsuit. As WSAV's Andrew Davis tells us, now the community is backing her fight.
This porch has been part of Josephine Wright's family and her home for more than 30 years. But developers now say it's part of their property, even though it's 22 feet.
Did it stop?
From the road that they're building on. And they filed a lawsuit.
I'm glad it's not my computer.
I know.
To try to take it from her.
I've been pretty much of a fighter all my life.
And even at 93, this grandmother to 40, great-grandmother to 50, and great-great-grandmother to 16 more says she's ready to fight for her family's past and future.
Me at first, but then it got me angry.
Angry at the lawsuit filed against her by Bailey Point Investment. They're the group who are developing the land right behind her home on Jonesville Road, property that has belonged to her family since the Civil War. The 147-unit plan has been approved and is well on its way. But Bailey Point says Wright is blocking their progress. They filed a lawsuit saying parts of her home are on their property, and they have the paperwork to prove it. In fact, they're asking for damages. Wright already paid to move a shed and a satellite dish, but the developers say her porch is still on land they own.
See, I'm at least, 12 feet away from the borderline, which is right there.
Actually, neighbors helping her say it's 22 feet away from the road that Bailey Point built. Josephine says this isn't about a porch. The developers made offers to buy her land, and she claims when she turned them down, they started harassing her.
And I don't want to say anything that can be used against me, but I think they're unscrupulous and greedy.
Exactly.
They are.
They are, and it's just a case of corporate greed. They think that, and we saw what the house looks like. We saw with this new development that we already know what they want to do. They don't want that because they see it as an eyesore. It brings down property value. All those stuff. They don't care about history or legacy and things like that, because that's a people who are trying to take away legacy and history right now as we speak. So they about that or anything like that or whatever. Like, they just care about the present and their ability to make money and the most money that they want to do or whatever. So I actually applaud Tyler. We didn't hear that part of the story on the video, but I applaud what he's doing, because as you stated, or have you stated, because I think Tyler's going to do something very interesting on the property.
Yeah, he's going to actually build her a house. So he's going to build a house that's 5 bedrooms, 7 bathrooms, or something like that. But it's just going to be a large, beautiful home. Because, I mean, the reality is, Miss Josephine, she's 93 years old. First of all, she doesn't look like it. She looks really good. And she's,
at all.
I love seeing when an elderly person, when they're in their right mind and when they're, of a particular age, but they can speak their truth and really stand in what they say and mean. So it's really, Tyler, he's like, look, I hate to see that this is happening to a elderly Black woman, because said that could be your grandmother, my grandmother, his grandmother, so he's stepping up and he's building a house. So, now I know those developers are going to back down now. They're going to back down. They're going to have to build around the beautiful house, because the reality is that this house is going to have to, it's going to remain in the family. Like, it's going to be something for the entire family. So this is why he's doing that.
And now, and like, I have a house and like with that new whatever, because I think she is either some sort of caregiver or 5 of the grandchildren to live with. So that's going to make sure that they all have their spaces or whatever, but also build for the legacy of those grandchildren, because she has like over 100 different either great grands, and great grand or whatever. So she at 93 already has a ready built legacy that's already there. So I'm happy to see Tyler helping her in that fight, because that's all it is. They thought it was going to squeeze her out with some money. We're going to litigate her to death. We're going to, and she's not going to be able to fight all this or whatever. So I'm glad that he got into there or whatever. And Danielle said, this lady at 93, when this house is built, it's going to be the best house in Hilton Head.
Yeah.
With all y'all rich folks there.
That's my little sis, Danielle. What's up, love? Yeah, but no, I'm just so happy that Tyler Perry is stepping in. So, of course, we're going to follow this story and keep y'all updated on what goes down with Miss Josephine in Hilton Head, South Carolina. All right, well, we're keeping things moving. Everybody Mad Live Podcast. Again, we appreciate everybody checking us out. And you know we got to give you our take on what's going on with Will Smith and Jada Pinkett Smith. Had the internet in shambles when she announced that they actually been separated for 7 years. So that means that the whole slap that went down that Oscar.
Actually, let's play that video so we can give her people ain't saying. So I just want to play that quick clip of Jada and her interview on NBC.
True.
Right.
Was that in 2016, you and Will decided that you were going to live completely separate lives.
Yes.
It was not a divorce on paper,
Right.
but it was a divorce. So from the year 2016, which is 7 years ago now,
Yes.
y'all have been apart.
Yeah.
But in public, the couple, who married in 1997, denied the gossip about their marriage. This interview on Bravo's Watch What Happens Live with Andy Cohen was taped a year after Will and Jada separated.
So how long have you guys been together?
23 years.
Wow. That's amazing.
So I'll stop it there.
Well, Will Smith, he's talking. You know, everybody, they have an opinion, but Will Smith, he actually has responded. Do we have video of that?
Yeah, we do, but this system is slow me today.
Well, you know, a lot of people, they were like, you know, why is Jada talking and why is she saying this and why is she saying that? But Will responded in a letter that he wrote to her, and he said, you know, I actually applaud and honor you. He said, if I had read this book 30 years ago, I definitely would have hugged you more. I'll start now. Welcome to the Authors Club. And he continued in the letter and said, I love you endlessly. Now go get some Merlot and take a rest. So, you know, surprisingly, he is backing Jada and this book and everything that she has to say, all of her appearances and stuff. But a lot of people, they don't feel that way. You know, a lot of people said, they're like, well, damn, you know, she's talking because, you know, then she started talking about like Tupac is her soulmate and Tupac has alopecia. And people are like, Jada, why are you talking so much? Why?
Yeah. Well, he loves her. And I think that's all we can just boil it down to. He really loves that girl.
Love somebody forever, no matter what. Oh, boy was like, I saw you, man. I saw your face. You know, can you show up and love somebody for the rest of your life, even when you don't agree with them? And there ain't nobody on earth except you, mommy, my mommy. I almost messed up. You, mom, nobody showed up for me more than you, mom. Jada's the best friend I have ever had on this planet. And I am going to show up for her and support her for the rest of my life.
So that was at the book preview or event in Baltimore. I think that's her hometown. So she actually did not expect him to be there. She showed up for that. And in addition to what Kenya read earlier, he gave that sort of public address to those in the crowd. As I said, he just loves her, and like whatever reason, it doesn't matter. Like he gonna and like all right. So let's have this conversation, Kenya, because really what it's been, because like I can say this with full confidence and say most black men have turned on Jada right now, based on just how we've seen a lot of this stuff kind of materialize, from just the little snide comments that she'll say, the soulmate thing about Tupac, and just really like the continued just over. Well, it's not infatuation because they for y'all to not have ever been in a relationship together, on about this man. You know, it's way more than you would go on with somebody who was just your friend who you never had sex with. That's what she said. You know what I'm saying? So, like, given all that and the stature of Tupac, and obviously who we know Will Smith to be, like one of the top grossing movie stars, definitely of like the 90s and the 2000s and then that sort of period, whatever. So, like, you got him. So, like, knowing that this is a man and he got Jada, because we all was schooling over Jada during the 90s or whatever. Like, we love some Jada, and everybody was going to try and do something to Jada because she's always been beautiful or whatever. But I think men are just on Jada because of this. And I think I kind of got a little bit unturned because I was the same way too. I was unturned, but then I started to realize, like, Will got money. He ain't just somebody off the street or whatever. It's like if and when he decided that he don't want to deal with the bull more and the way she talk about whatever, he can not only go and move on and like rebuild something else with somebody else or whatever, but like he can find someone equally as beautiful, as talented as her, in the same realm or outside of it. So like he doesn't have to, but so why should I be mad at Jada?
Well, yeah, well, so here's my thing too, because I had a friend and it was a female. She was saying, "Oh, I'm so sick and tired of Jada. She's the reason why he went up there and slapped Chris." She had nothing to do with that. That was all on Will. She can't control what Will does. She can't control his emotions, but it just seems like everybody's trying to find a reason to drag her down. Yeah, she is starting to get on my nerves a little bit, but now that Will has come out and that video is floating all on the internet now, yo, I wash my hands of it because that's their business. If that's how they choose to move in their relationship, then that's them. You know, we have to realize that, you know, we don't have a say-so on what people do in their behind closed doors. If that's what they choose to do, then that's them. Period. That's it. That's it. So if he likes it, I love it. That's it. That's it. I don't have nothing else to say about it. But I do,
like, man, if y'all separated, like, why you slapping that man? Because you ain't even like. And then other thing too, you do wonder. Wait a minute, Will. Like, why you? If y'all are separated during this entanglement, why you ain't say something? Why you let your woman that you say your best friend for life? Why you let her go down all alone while y'all had probably some sort of agreement or some sort of arrangement, knowing that like in this separation there may be some other sort of something, you know what I'm saying? So like that's what has me wondering, like, Will, why you let her go out like that if you say you love her like you do?
Yeah, and so again, what I just said, I stand by what I said, but I also feel like this too. It kind of left a bad taste in my mouth in a lot of people's mouths because it messed up their brand, because they had this like brand of like Black love and we sticking together and everything, when in actuality y'all were lying to us. That's what it was.
Yeah,
you know, y'all were acting like y'all were together when you were really having issues. Why didn't you just say that you had issues back then? I don't understand. Why not just tell the truth?
Yeah, I think people.
We're going through this whole separation, because then maybe that whole Oscar slap probably wouldn't even have happened. I mean, I think it might not have happened. I don't know, but I just think that it just kind of messed up their credibility.
That was a part of his healing journey. Let me go slap Chris right quick.
Well, I just felt like it messed up their credibility as the Black excellent actors that we know. You know what I mean? Like you don't have but so many people in Hollywood that are on that level of the Will and Jada, the Oprah Winfrey's. You know what I'm saying? So it kind of left a real funky taste in my mouth, and I'm not drinking the Kool-Aid, you know. So it is what it is. Now, my cousin Tim, he said
a lot of people are
forgiving. I'm sorry, say that again. My cousin said that he
say you ain't the only person.
Go ahead. Seems like we're talking. My cousin said it seems that people are forgetting that they're both actors and they know how to keep everyone talking, which equals publicity and money, which That's true, you know. So we have to look at that situation too.
Yeah,
So,
and I knew that because obviously she got a book.
And that's why she's talking. That's why she's saying, first of all, why would you tell everybody Tupac had alopecia? Who cares? He's dead. Jada. Like, why are you talking about that now? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, some things you just
why
don't.
Why are you telling Tupac business anyway?
Yeah, because she's trying to sell a book.
At a certain point, you have to say, enough is enough. Ma'am, stop talking. Leave us out of it. Everything I know about this people's relationship, I have learned against my will. I'm so tired of knowing these people's business. I was tired, boss. I was tired. Leave me out of it.
Yeah, that's how a lot of people feel.
God damn you.
I hate the internet, absolutely.
Gangster.
Up and down like a roller coaster. Can I come inside you? I ain't stopping till the show is over. The summer ride in and out just like a flower.
The internet is hilarious and stays undefeated and forever will be undefeated. Yeah, I said, I don't know, but, you know, I'm just kind of like, you know, I mean, I feel like, you know, why didn't you just be honest? If you're known for being the red table talk woman, like, why couldn't you have been honest all this time? You know, so I don't know. It just kind of messes up their credibility. That's just me. Definitely want to hear from you all on that. Leave your comments. We got some more stories and more debates to talk about. This is the Everybody Mad Live podcast. So, Alicia Keys said, what did you think about this story when you heard it? Because I was like, first of all, Alicia, you know, everybody knows the only time Alicia's really been like in the media for some scandal was when she was when she got with Swiss Beats, because Swiss Beats was married. We haven't forgotten, Alicia. You know what I mean? Like, you were with a married man.
Mm-hmm.
You were with the married man, but everybody, they gave you a pass because you were pretty and light skinned. That's really the reality. That's why she got a pass. But now Alicia, she's been back in the news because of a recent social media post. And people are calling this post insensitive in light of the war between Hamas and Israel. The post has since been deleted, but she basically posted a picture of herself in a green jacket saying, what would you do if you weren't afraid of anything? She was apparently talking about paragliding, and people felt like that was a dig at the war that's going on. And come on, people. Like, people too sensitive. People really, they got offended by this post. They got offended by the post. They felt like the word paragliding, given that the Hamas terrorists used paragliders on their October 7th attack on Israel. And they also tried to tie in her wearing green as the color of the Hamas flag as a sign to support of the organization. Alicia Keys, really? The chick from, where's she from? Brooklyn? Really? Come on, y'all. It's a reach.
Yeah.
It's really a reach. You know, and I just feel like, come on, man. Like there's so much in the world going on. Like, people just trying to tear down a black woman. I got my whole theories on this right here, but she's not trying to shout out anybody, and she's not. That's not even her brand. That's not even what she's about. Come on, it's ridiculous. Sam, what's your thoughts?
Yeah, it was weird, but like, it's weird, but they always get like that. It's very sensitive, and like she just made an error in judgment and timing or whatever it was, and just said some stuff. But yeah, you got to be careful with that. And she's in the industry, so she knows. That's why this post that you was deleted. We had to find a screenshot in order to even show it to you because it was deleted off of there or whatever. So she already knew what it was or whatever when she posted it or whatever, but just couldn't get it down fast enough because there's always screenshots for everybody or whatever. But yeah, I'm not a fan of Alicia Keys, but I'm also not trying to like say that she's a fighter for Hamas. Now, I will say this. because I'm not scared of no Jewish people or nobody else. I'm not scared because I'm not talking about nobody in a defamatory way or whatever. But like, I think what we do need to realize that is not a part of this conversation for a lot of people, is a lot of people don't understand the Israel versus the Palestinian sort of conversation or whatever. And it's something that's decades long. It's something that's been going on probably as long as we've been alive. Some of those leaders have been in place for 20, 30 years or whatever. So some of the stuff that they've been doing back in the 80s and 90s is still in because you got the same people there or whatever. But long story short, Israel has been doing some stuff to the Palestinians for years. And we've all known that. And we've all known that this stuff has been happening, but ain't nobody been saying nothing. And America has still been sending money over there. That's why people have a problem with it or whatever. And like, I mean, now what Hamas did a couple of Saturdays ago, that was wild. They killed a lot of civilians and a lot of people at the festival and the concert. It was crazy. Yeah, it was crazy. And I'm not condoning it, not supporting it or anything or whatever. But like I was telling someone else or whatever, when you have been systematically sort of in the state and like, I think the biggest thing is like, we don't know history. So we have no context for what's actually happening. So if you know history, you know that Israel ain't even really been a country for that long or whatever. So since the 1940s. So they've been fighting for less than 100 years about this border. And the border on Israel now has changed a whole lot. They've squeezed those Palestinians into really just two different areas. When Palestinian people were really throughout the whole country of what's known as Israel now. That conversation ain't been having. So a lot of people don't understand that. So now people don't know why should I be for Hamas or anything? I'm not for anybody who kills anybody, period, or whatever. But all I'm saying to Israel is when you've done some of the things that you've done, you got to expect somebody to do something back to you.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Stop all this war on both sides. Same thing with Hamas. When you've done what you did to Israel on Saturday, you knew what they was going to come back to you. They trying to wipe you off the complete map now. You know what I'm saying? So that's my thing. Like, you got to understand context and like all the context of what's happening over there, whatever. Like, I hate it. War is stupid. But it is what it is.
Yeah, well, it's real unfortunate, and our prayers are with the families out there too, because it's a horrible situation because people are dying out there, So we'll keep you all updated on what goes down with that. Yeah, it is real sad. You can follow us, Everybody Mad Live Podcast, on Instagram and also on Facebook too. So we got another debate coming up, and this is a very interesting debate right here about a guy in Atlanta, right here in Atlanta, that actually walked out of his date. But why did he walk out of his date? We'll watch the video and then let's talk before we even break it all down, all right? This is a big debate going on right now on social media. Huge debate. Who's right?
So it was close to you. So let's talk a little bit about that in context. Okay. It was at Fontaine's. It's got a good restaurant.
I've never been to Fontaine before. You've been? Yeah, I've never been. But I've heard a lot about it. But anyway, people are debating whether a woman who says that she actually invited the date out she says that
today
her
I
date
with this nigga I met a few weeks ago out with my friends. This nigga been texting me for weeks, talking to him. Bitch, I don't know. But today I was bored and I had time, so he texted me like, can we meet for drinks? And I'm like, yeah, meet me here. They got the best fucking oysters in Atlanta, like, hands down. So I'm like, yes, I can get some content. Come on. It's so good. Y'all, when the fourth one came out, he was looking at me crazy. I didn't give a fuck. I'm like, baby, you invited me out. I'm gonna eat. And I was coming anyway. But I ain't gonna lie. No, I wouldn't have did all that. But I did do all that. They was so good. I was not expecting it to be that good. It was just so good. Like I had to. It was so good. So after that, I'm like, baby, what's next? What I'm about to eat? These potatoes, they were so good. And the crab cakes, everything was so good. 10, baby. Why the fuck this bitch ass nigga say he going to the bathroom and never come back? The fuck? I'm like, hold the fuck on. What this nigga had to end up grabbing a tab, bitch. Nigga left me with his little one fucking drink. Yeah, bitch, I'm so glad bitch keep me some money, cause what? That was crazy to me. And I said, bitch, you running out on the tab. He talking about, I'm offering you to drink. The fuck are you talking about, bitch?
Yeah, well, he offered to take you out for drinks. You tried to come up and ordered not one, not two, not three, but 4 things of oysters. Come on. And clearly she's a rat. I'm just saying, she's a rat. Like no woman with class and dignity would ever even play herself like that. Come on, like she's gonna sit up here like he said, let's go out for drinks.
Why would you get fooled like that though?
You said what? Which they said?
I was just saying, like, why would you even eat like that on a date? Like,
yeah, I mean,
like, that's crazy. It's a date. Yeah. Like, why are you eating like that?
You slurping and everything, and it's not a good look. And so people are like, well, he was wrong for running out on her on the date, like without even having a conversation. Yeah, I mean, sure, as a grown man, you can have a conversation and sit down and say, my thing is, if you're a grown man, you sit down, you have a conversation, you say, look, you did wrong. You doing all this right here. We're going to split this tab right here. You pay for your food. I told you I was going to take you out for drinks, and that's it. That's how he should have handled the situation. That's it. I got the drinks. You pay for your food because you ordered all that food. I told you I was just going to take
left out or whatever. Yeah. Maybe it's just like you have a conversation. Like you don't just because that is kind of like a cowardly sort of way. I would have came back to the table like, baby girl, here's $20 for this drink. I'm out or whatever. Like just dashing and like just dipping or whatever without saying anything. Like that's kind of like a punk move to me, because to me you show your face and tell somebody what you're doing. Like you don't just snip, hey, I'm going to the bathroom or whatever. But like I think he was right, because she was just doing too much. Like why would you eat like that?
Doing too much.
Yeah, why would you eat like that? But then like the flip side is like oysters are an after done 8, 4 or 5 orders of oysters. She ready.
Right, that part. Yeah, they were both wrong, said. I think that they were both wrong in the situation. She was wrong for ordering up all that food, and he was wrong for just walking out when he could have simply had a conversation like adults do. So definitely want to hear your thoughts.
Right,
I see the comments.
Like, girl, like, hey,
yeah. My cousin Tim, he's roasting you right now. He said, you don't feed hood rats or even be in public with them. My other cousin, what's up, Adon? He said she going to catch a dang tapeworm.
The way she was slurping, she probably slurped a tapeworm.
Right, exactly. Yeah, so, yeah, leave your comments. Definitely want to hear from you. Tim, you crazy on that other comment, too. I see you. But anyway, we want to hear your thoughts with the Everybody Mad Live podcast. Here's one more debate before we roll out of here. The music industry, a lot of people are talking about everybody's talking about the music industry right now because of the BET Awards. It was on last week. Everybody's really, and I know Bow Wow has something to say, because a lot of the new artists that are coming out, they just don't seem like they're seasoned as artists, like some of the artists that we grew up with back in the day. A lot of artists don't know how to do interviews. You put them in front of the camera, in front of a journalist, and they don't know how to speak well. They don't know how to articulate their thoughts and their ideas. So it's becoming an issue in the industry. So Bow Wow actually addressed it, and he said that the music industry needs to bring back artist development. I think we've talked about this before on the show. He said that artists are not taking their performances seriously. Do you agree or disagree with Bow Wow? Said, I let you go first.
I agree, because we've had this conversation so many times. This is a little part of what he said. Can we bring back this with the labels, y'all be throwing them on platforms. They don't know. The boxer is trained and taught before battle. We should not just keep throwing these subpar ass artists out there without no proper teaching. There's too many real ones out here on the come up, like Simba Westside Boogie. Stop pushing that BS on us. The fans are waking up, and hip hop is about to change for the better. Stay in the house if you playing, and move over and let the real ones play. And then he said they can't talk. I don't understand what the fuck they're saying. Dry as hell interviews. Yeah. So like just everything that you kind of recapped on that. But I absolutely agree with you on that because like that's one of the reasons why like I have no interest in a lot of the artists of today because I hear them on the radio and that sort of thing or whatever, and like the music is okay, but like I always say that like a lot of the music lacks some sort of originality. It lacks some creativity. It seems like a lot of times the easy way to music has been taken, and I know things have gotten a little bit easier with technology, the way we can digitize things and in the studio and music and things like that or whatever. So like I think that plays a part into it too because it's not as precise. Like back in the 60s in Motown, you had to sing it exactly how it needed to sound for it to get on the record. Like you didn't have those double takes where you necessarily could stop right here and start back over or whatever. So like they were trained and had the ability to do those sort of things. I think it's just the overall just connection to the laziness that we've gone with the craft. And I've always said it to where like even like the best artists to me have taken the lazy way out. I've said it all the time about Beyonce. I used to be a pretty good fan of Beyonce, but I like her older stuff better than the current stuff. You can shake your head all you want to, but like to me, like it's not saying that she's a subpar artist because she's not. She puts her work into it, but like I'm thinking like from where we are as in a genre, in a set of just comparing where we are from a music sort of standpoint, we're nowhere where we were back in the 90s or the 80s or things like that because these artists are not developing themselves. So they're just putting out things without having that artistry, without having that certain level of precision or whatever. So if they're not putting it out and people are consuming it, then like everybody else don't have to put out their best or whatever. And then that to me is what other artists just kind of have to do with. Like I think the whole industry, as one artist lifts, the rest of the industry lifts. But if everybody's kind of on this basic, we're gonna just put this out or whatever, and we're gonna be this or whatever, then you're just maintaining the status quo. So I absolutely believe with Bow Wow for a little bit different reasons, but I do believe that the artists of today can't touch some of the artists of maybe 20 years ago or 25 years ago or longer.
Okay, and I agree with you too. I think that you need to take Beyonce out of the equation and out of the conversation because we're talking about what she's on a whole nother level. Like people compare Beyonce to Michael Jackson these days, so you got to leave Beyonce out of the conversation. If we're talking about people and artists, new artists that need artist development, let's stick to the topic. There are artists out there that need it, but
I'm just saying the environment has cultivated a little bit of laziness, even with our better artists. I'm not saying that she's subpar. I'm saying that in this environment of just mediocrity, then she's not making that timeless music because that's also what Bow Wow said in some of his conversations or whatever. Like the other part that I'm saying is that like the music is music just for today. So 10 years from now, we ain't gonna be banging like some of the stuff that's coming out now. Whereas back in the 90s, okay, we played it 10 years from that, and then we played it 15 years, and we're still rocking some of those tunes now. So that was the correlation that I was having to Beyonce. Not saying she's down there with anyone else. I'm just saying that the whole industry is mediocre now.
Well,
so
okay,
like you don't have.
So I'm gonna make my point because I feel like I agree with the whole Bow Wow situation, but I also want people to realize that look at who's running the record labels. You have white people that are running the record labels, so they're not pushing artist development on some of these artists. And then when the artists say, okay, well, we're rejecting, we don't want that, we want to keep it real and everything like that, they're like, okay, cool, because now we don't have to pay for a coach to come in and coach you. We're not spending more money. We're just going to throw them out there. But what we have to realize is that when artists hit a certain platform, when you hit a certain level, you're representing the culture. And if you're not representing the culture, it's such a bad look and it makes us all look bad. That's why you have all these bad, mediocre artists that are running around right now because they're not trained. They don't care. They're getting paid $50,000-$60,000 a
Anyway.
show, and they're like, well, why do I have to step my game up when I'm out the gate? I'm already making this kind of money, and it's just an overall bad look. But again, if it's white people that's running these major record labels, they don't care. And then the people that are the black record reps that are under them are saying, oh, okay, well, yeah, just, we don't care. Like, if the artist says that they don't want artist development, then you got to push them. It should be a requirement to have artist development to be in the record game. You have to. You just have to. So I don't like what's happening right now. It is a bad look, and I totally agree with Bow Wow.
Got to be a manager.
Yeah, I totally agree with Bow Wow. Leave your comments. We want to hear your thoughts.
We can change it at some point.
You said what, said? What'd you say, said?
No, I said hopefully we can change it at some point because I do miss those days to where we would be able to like it wasn't just one artist who was kind of ruling the day or whatever. Like you had a handful of artists who were just putting out bangers and just putting out stuff, and I miss those days where everybody's coming out with good music.
Yeah, I agree. One more story before we wrap things up. Did you see Shannon Sharp on his show First Take this past week? He got clowned for his makeup.
Like
his makeup artist. Yeah, everybody was dragging Shannon Sharp, and it was hilarious. And this is SSU graduate right there, representing his orange, Savannah State orange right there.
That's orange? Oh, I didn't know.
They put some lipstick on him, and I don't know what they did, but it just it's just funny.
Like made him lighter because that ain't his skin tone. Like this is his skin tone. Like he's
right,
he's a dark skinned brother. And like they done made him cocoa caramel.
Yeah, well, Shannon Sharp, he did respond, though, classy, as he always does. He says, yeah, the makeup was a little bit heavy. They rotate a lot of makeup artists, and this makeup artist was a new woman that did his face. But he said that, it really is not about his appearance. He said what's more important are his takes. And as long as he hits those takes, that's all that matters. Said, you were dead wrong for zooming in like that, bro. You are dead wrong. So people, they were ragging Shannon Sharp all week, but man, we love him, man. That's SSU. He's like SSU legacy at Savannah State for real. Like he is the man at Savannah State, and rightfully so. So big ups to Shannon Sharp, Hall of Famer. Sam, what you watching on TV this week, man?
Yeah, I like Shannon. His brother, all my mater, them Georgia boys. Now that Shannon is a U.S. University of South Carolina alumni. Shannon was supposed to go there,
but he didn't.
But yeah, what I'm watching, The Burial.
What's that on?
He didn't. Watching The Burial. It's actually on Amazon Prime. That's Jamie with Tommy Lee Jones. Actually, I think it just came out last week. So I watched it then, and it actually was real good. It was real good to see Jamie back on the screen doing some stuff. He played his role really, really well. He's playing the role of a famous attorney in Florida. He's actually a personal injury lawyer that actually won a lot of notoriety for winning a lot of big money cases or whatever. So a contract lawyer, which is Tommy Lee Jones, hired him to help his situation out. But it's a good movie. I'd say you watch it. Amazon Prime.
All right, I'm gonna check that out. And I'm still watching. I started back watching The Other Black Girl. It's a show on Hulu about a young woman who is in a corporate environment, and she's the only black female. But then another black female comes in, and it's kind of showing how they're kind of pitted against each other. One gets paranoid of the other one, and they're kind of vying for a promotion. So it's really interesting, but it's something that a lot of people in the corporate world, especially if you work for majority white companies like Seth and I have both worked for, is something that I think that everybody can relate to. So that's what I'm watching. It's actually a pretty good show. So that's what I am watching this week, brother. What's the viral videos of the week before we dip out, man?
Dope. We got a couple viral videos of the week about some of the 90s and reminiscing about our days during that time, and some people key in the late 90s, early 2000s, or whatever, when we was at the height of our little time in Myrtle Beach, and that little time or whatever was some rappers, that little quartet of influential rappers, because you had Cheesy and you had T.I. and you had Gucci Mane and you had Boosie, and like I just remember all those times or whatever. But we all know that they ain't get along just like we liked them. I was fans of actually most of the rappers, but some of the rappers didn't have the best sort of relationship. T.I. and Gucci were one of them. They actually got together. That's Gucci Mane right there.
Everybody in ATL can just sit up.
So that was Gucci Mane bringing T.I.
I love
to his show on there, kind of reuniting on stage and kind of squashing their beef. Years long, almost over a decade, probably longer than that. With that, but good to see these Negroes as they age and get over 40 and towards 50. They realize, you know what? Ain't no need to be beefing. Ain't no need to be beefing.
Because this year we celebrate 20 years of trap music and we wouldn't be shit without you.
I love that. That's what's up. Love to see brothers come together. Love that.
That was good. That was good.
All right, what else you got for us, Ed?
Together. So that is actually it. I had another video I was going to show, but I can't even find it, and then my system is kind of weird. I will not use this computer. This is a different computer than I've never used this computer ever before for the podcast, and I won't again.
Often you see it in the way they scrambled on that final defensive possession, and a second title for a young woman who is quickly becoming one of the greatest this game has ever seen.
Congratulations to my fellow
Alicia Clark steps in.
Asia Wilson just won the her second WNBA championship with the Las Vegas Aces. And if you don't realize how big WNBA is getting women's basketball, so I wanted to honor her for because we don't win no football games and we don't win the stuff I want to win. So at least we can talk about when we do win. So congratulations to Asia Wilson for winning her second WNBA championship. She won a national championship with us too, or whatever. But congratulations. So that's it.
All right, that's what's up. Make sure that you follow us on our social media at Everybody Mad. Search Everybody Mad Live Podcast on Google, and you will find us everywhere. And you can also follow me too at Kenya Cabine and Kenya Cabine on all other social media platforms.
Yep, I'm Said Lover everywhere. Hope to see you next time, same place. Thank you for being a part of our show, the second best part of the show after the first best. And I ain't gonna tell you what's the first best.
What's the first best?
Didn't I just say I wasn't gonna tell you? Because it should be clear. So breast cancer month, I'm like, because I don't know if we're gonna skip another or whatever. So let me say it while we have a moment. It is Breast Cancer Awareness Month in October. So I want to acknowledge that. I know a lot of women who are survivors of breast cancer, and that's what we're gonna put on it. We know breast cancer is way more aggressive for Black women than it is for any other race or whatever. So checked. Get tested, make sure that's a regular part of your annual sort of examinations with your physician. If you're not doing that and you're over 30, you need to make sure you start doing that. I know that I have actually 3 survivors in my family, a couple of cousins, actually 3 cousins who are survivors of this. So I know it's possible, but only with early detection. So I just want to share that with you, just in case we won't see you again for October. But we are planning to see you same time, same next week. So thank you for being a part of our show.
All right.